Right. We will now call the Plan Commission meeting of February 19th, 2024 to order. I'm sorry. Wrong meeting. We'll now call the Common Council meeting of February 19th, 2024 to order. Roll call, please.
Alderman Kirkowski is excused. Alderman Lorik.
Here.
Ritz.
Here.
Marshall. Here. Gale.
Here.
And Alderman Guzikowski is excused.
Thank you for that catch. I appreciate that, Jim. How would everybody please rise for Pledge of Allegiance? Max, would you help us out?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and
And the approval of minutes of February 6th, 2024. Everybody take a few moments. And when you're satisfied, there's no discussion, corrections, errors, or omissions. Motion, please.
Marshall will move to approve the minutes of February 6, 2024.
Lork seconds.
Roll call.
Alderman Ritz.
Aye.
Marshall. Aye. Gale.
Aye.
Lorik.
Aye.
Item 4 is consideration of a council proclamations for congratulations to Brendan Hydaz for receiving his Eagle Scout Award. Catherine, would you please read that?
Certainly. Congratulations to Brendan Hydaz for receiving the Eagle Scout Award. Whereas the conferring of an Eagle Scout is one of the highest awards that can be bestowed upon a Boy Scout. And whereas such award is an earned award in that the recipient must perform and successfully complete and pass the rigid requirements exacted to achieve an Eagle Scout Award. And whereas less than 4% of all Scouts actually achieve this goal. And whereas at a court of honor to be held at Southbrook Church in Franklin, Wisconsin on Sunday, February 25th, 2024 at 1:30 p.m., an Eagle Award will be conferred upon Brendan Hydaz. And whereas, as his Eagle Scout project, Brendan chose to construct and install benches and cedar fencing in the backyard bird walk area of the Milwaukee County Zoo. And whereas Brendan researched building plans online and with the assistance of his Troops Committee's chair, mapped out measurements and calculated the amount of product that would be needed to build 3 benches and fencing. In addition to donations, Brendan started an online GoFundMe page to assist with his fundraising efforts, setting a fund goal of $1,000 to cover material costs. And whereas Brendan organized and coordinated the efforts of 20 volunteers, which included fellow Scouts and family members, to assist with the planning, construction, placement, and installation of the benches and fencing, putting in a total of over 209 man-hours of work. And whereas the addition of these benches located along one of the walking paths in this unique exhibit will provide zoo visitors with an area to stop, rest, and appreciate the beauty of the Milwaukee County Zoo and its amazing animals. And whereas in addition to the zoo's curator of birds and the efforts of several troops of the local 3 Harbor Council of the Boy Scouts of America, nearly every feature in the Backyard Birdwalk exhibit has benefited from a Scout Service project. Whereas the Oak Creek Common Council wishes to recognize this noteworthy achievement of Brendan Hydaz. Now therefore be it resolved that the Mayor and Common Council of the City of Oak Creek hereby extend their congratulations to Eagle Scout Brendan Hydaz for having an Eagle Scout Award conferred upon him by the Boy Scouts of America. Be it further resolved that this proclamation be spread upon the minutes of this meeting, and the city clerk be and she is hereby directed to transmit a suitable copy thereof to Brendan Hydaz. Presented and adopted this 19th day of February 2024.
Thank you, Catherine. Does anybody want to say anything on Brendan's behalf? Anybody familiar with him? So I will be out on Sunday to help Brendan celebrate his achievement. Really looking forward to it. Meeting a young man that can work with the county and actually get something done there. Should get an extra merit badge just for that. So, but it is really beneficial as these scouts go through it. This is a 12-year mission to become an Eagle Scout. And as it said in the proclamation, I've had the honor of going to quite a few of these. Only 4% of the scouts ever make this level. Quite amazing. We've had a fair number of them in Oak Creek, and it says a lot to the community, parents, and the system in general is strong down here. So, my congratulations on behalf of the entire council and the residents of Oak Creek. Be with us on Sunday when I'm out there. If we could have a motion, great.
Yeah, I'll move to approve Council Proclamation 24-01. Congratulations to Brendan Hodash for receiving the Eagle Scout Award.
Marshall, second.
Roll call.
Alderwoman Marshall? Aye. Gale?
Aye.
Lorik?
Aye.
Ritz?
Aye.
Item 5 is police, and it is consideration of a resolution approving the TNT Next Generation Enhanced 911 Phone System Agreement. And we have Chief Stecker with us. He's going to fill us in on that. Chief, welcome back.
Thank you. Good evening. Glad to be back. All right, we're talking about the AT&T Next Generation Enhanced 911 Phone System Agreement. So we've been working on this for the last, I believe, 5 years incrementally on different parts of enhancing the phone system with the 911, especially getting the cellular 911s to come over, and as well with this, the enhanced part lets us get more accurate information, IP-directed information, especially off of everyone's handheld devices. So we can actually capture down to this exact location if I'm calling from a cell phone 911, instead of going off of triangulation off of actual cell towers, which can be many miles off at times, depending on how many cell towers they're actually hitting. So you can still hit a cell tower up to 10 miles away and try and triangulation off of that, and that's fairly inaccurate. So we've been working on this, and one of the things that we looked at was hosting our own system like we have for many years, or having AT&T do it. And the price and maintaining it, especially when you start working on the ITT infrastructure and the IT service time that they're going to have to dedicate to it, it was much better and fiscally responsible of us to look at them cloud-based hosting it for the next 5 years. There are some other options that we can look at that time when we can look at possibly working with some other jurisdictions around us to share that, but right now that's not a feasible aspect for us. It's not cost beneficial. So we looked at this when it came to budget time, when we were working several months back on the 2024 budget, to do this as either a CIP or come through as part of the budget. And we opted to go through as part of the budget because we also captured this in with our intergovernmental agreements with both South Milwaukee and St. Francis. So they will be paying their portion of this on the backside. So what we're looking to do right now is the 5-year contract. It's a total of $414,000. It comes out to $82,800 a year. And basically what we're doing, and as I had written in there, as many of you may know or may not know, 911 systems took place starting in the 1960s. So we're still working off of the backbone of that system across the nation of what 911 was in the 1960s. So trying to get up to the enhanced aspect with cellular devices and everything else, this is a big leap forward. And it's something that the state of Wisconsin's been working on for the last several years as well. So we're just trying to get up to speed and make sure that we're along where we need to be. And our systems currently are at end of life. They're actually past end of life. And we need to make sure that we have those items going forward. I'd be happy to answer any specific questions that you may have.
Questions for the chief? So Chief, will AT&T have separate contracts with St. Francis, South Milwaukee, and us, or is it just one contract?
This is one contract that covers it all because we are the ones, as that primary PSAP that brings all the information into Oak Creek, we're responsible for that. So when that comes in, it's a part of the budget, and then it gets parsed out with what we've gone through the IGAs on everyone's percentage that they pay then. So actually all three of us will come out ahead on this. This is part of that savings aspect that we're looking at when we start doing some of the combined or consolidated dispatching aspects.
So the 82.8 is for all three then?
It's for 2 right now because that's all we can go forward with. When we add South Milwaukee, there'll be a smaller component of that. But Even I ran that out. I don't have those numbers with me, but when we add South Milwaukee on and we bring it out, we will actually pay a little less than what we're paying right now, and St. Francis will pay a little less than they're paying right now. So again, it's that, built-in efficiency aspect.
Ken?
David, this thing is, I would assume it's compatible with other platforms? Or is this system stuck with a certain technology where you're moving forward,
So AT&T, because they are the ones that have all of the actual hardware networking that goes out, and that's what this will be off. It'll be off a fiber line coming into the building. Even if we went with our own our own system, we still have to connect to and pay AT&T for part of that. So there's no getting away from AT&T because they are the ones that operate all the 911 systems. I don't want to use
and obviously
say that it's a monopoly, but it sounds like they've got the corner on that.
This is actually very timely. There was an article in the paper today about the 911 system in Milwaukee, how difficult it is to pinpoint depending on cell phone towers, age of cell phones, a lot of things that go into it. It's very complicated.
This will be no different if you've used Uber or Lyft, and if you move around, you can see exactly where you're at. This will give us real-time live data. If they keep moving, we'll be able to see them driving down the street and know that it's a moving vehicle or somebody walking, running versus something stationary that just happened there, which may go very timely into the 911 call that Milwaukee's dealing with from their fire department aspect of not finding the person.
Any further questions for the chief? Seeing none, motion?
I'll move to approve resolution 12473-021924, approving the AT&T Next Generation Enhanced 911 Phone System Agreement.
Marshall will second.
Roll call?
Alderman Gale.
Aye.
Lorik.
Aye.
Fritz.
Aye.
Marshall. Aye.
And item 6 is consideration of a resolution approving the Milwaukee Area Technical College and Oak Creek Police Department Sister Range Usage Memorandum of Understanding.
All right, I think this one's even a little bit easier. So for many years, we've kind of done a handshake gentleman's agreement with MATC to use their range in exchange for range time with us. We're really trying to make sure that this is done properly and outline everything so that we can get everything back and forth as to any shared time. It doesn't happen all the time, but there are times, sometimes once a year, sometimes twice a year, where either our range is down and we need to use MATC's range, or they have some mechanical issues with their range and they need to use ours. And it's very easy for us to do time in, time out to exchange that time, especially when we have a lot of training that we do, and having MATC right here is very convenient for us instead of having to possibly run all the way down to Gateway in Kenosha or out to CTC in Waukesha. So getting this kind of actually in a formal agreement will help us moving forward on both sides to make sure everything's covered exactly as it needs to be.
Questions for the chief? Seeing none, motion?
Marshall moves to approve resolution 12474-02121924, a resolution approving the Milwaukee Area Technical College and Oak Creek Police Department Sister Range Usage Memorandum of Understanding.
Gale, second.
Roll call?
Alderman Lorik.
Aye.
Fritz.
Aye.
Marshall. Aye. Gale.
Aye.
And item 7 is under community development. It's consideration of a resolution approving a certified survey map submitted by Matthew Zastro, United Parcel Services, for the properties at 6800 South 6th Street, 6855 South Howell Avenue. Carrie?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is a certified survey map request. It is called a lot line adjustment because they are consolidating the two parcels that they own on the property, or on 13th Street, and also their property goes all the way out to Howell Avenue. By consolidating these two properties, they will have one lot of 72.85 acres that will be in conformance with all the requirements of the M1 manufacturing district. Now, it is a multi-page CSM, and the one comment that Plan Commissioners had recognized in their recommendation of approval was that their second page, which had the wetland delineation, was missing the floodplain boundaries. So adding those to the map prior to recording was really the only tangible item that they could see needing change at this point. But there's also a recommendation for any other technical corrections to be made prior to recording the map. This is in direct relation to their plans for expanding the parking lots for both their employees and for their trucks. So this will address a bit of an issue that the city's been dealing with. And thank UPS for also working with us in order to make these plans a reality. So with that, if there are any questions, be happy to answer them.
Questions for Carrie?
But Carrie, the site plan that'll be coming.
They've actually presented those plans to the Plan Commission and received approval.
We've taken into account light shielding and screening for, I'm not sure how far this parking extends toward.
So there is an existing ATC easement that runs along the south, and there are existing ATC, not necessarily towers, but there is infrastructure that kind of goes diagonally across the center of the property.
I see that.
Yeah, they won't be going any farther east than that. In fact, they'll be the only thing that goes up to that line is their proposed stormwater pond. So the truck parking area will just be an extension off the back of the building, what they have already. I think they're adding maybe 200 stalls to that part. And then the extension of the parking lot, again, won't go past that north-south diagonal ATC line. They are also proposing to enhance the landscaping along their Howell Avenue frontage in order to kind of help with that screening. They weren't able to put any landscaping in per code for that proposed extension of the employee parking lot along the south due to the ATC easement. They're just restricted that way. So they're not proposing any lighting that would be out of line from what they have on the property already. In fact, due to the ATC easement, they can't put standard lights on the south parking lot, so they're putting 6-foot tall lighted bollards. With the proper screening, they probably won't be able to see this from Howell Avenue at all. And with the stormwater that's proposed, that'll be going through the engineering department for review and approval. Any water issues that had been on the property should not be exacerbated at all. In fact, it should take care of some of the problems that have been out there. It does not remove the floodplain or the wetlands on the property in their entirety, so you will still have wet areas, but this should hopefully address any of that capture for the new pavement.
Any other questions for Carrie? Okay, seeing none, motion?
Clerk moves to adopt resolution number 12475-021924, a resolution approving a certified survey map submitted by Matthew Zastro, United Parcel Service, for the properties at 6800 South 6th Street and 6855 South Howell Avenue.
Ritzel, second.
Roll call?
Alderman Ritz?
Aye.
Marshall?
Aye.
Gale?
Aye.
Guzekowski?
Aye.
Lorik?
Aye.
Item 8 concerns engineering. It's consideration of a motion to approve the Drexel Avenue Lift Station project and award a construction contract to Mid-City Corporation based on the lump sum bid amount $1,093,000. Matt?
Thank you, Mayor. I'll be taking this. Matt Sullivan, Assistant City Administrator, Engineer. Right before you is the motion to approve the Drexel Lift Station project and award it to the low bidder, Mid-City Corporation. This project has been ongoing since 2021. So it's been a very lengthy project. A lot of those delays in preparing this bid and that have been simply trying to make sure that it worked properly. As we all know, the Drexel Lift Station is very important to the city. It does take care of a lot of our heavy rains and flooding in that area. The pumps are 40 years old, right around there. So they've gone through their useful life to the point where we do bi-weekly maintenance. So every 2 weeks we are out there with 2 gentlemen who actually have to go into an enclosed space. This project will actually relieve that portion. So these are submersible pumps. They can be lifted out to do our maintenance on that. No one has to go interior except for DNR requirements on going through the inspection process, which is an annual thing. So it's very limited. This also allows us to handle our electrical in a different manner. So that will be all housed in a building, which is about an 8 by 8 foot building, very small. We're going to have a brick veneer on it, or a brick face on it, so it's going to kind of blend in with things. The building does need to be out of the floodplain, so it'll be a little further west of the actual lift station itself, but all contained within that area around that railroad bridge. So I'd be happy to answer any questions if you have it particular. Water and Sewer Utility did all the design work. I'll do my best to answer any of those questions.
Questions for Matt?
Construction time frame, Matt?
We'll be looking in the fall to start this. There is some lead time on a lot of the components. In order to kind of take care of that, we're kind of want to get the contract under, get that lead time taken care of, and looking for construction starting in the fall.
Very much needed.
Yes.
If you're familiar with that, that actually, when they go down, that's probably 25 to 30 feet down.
Is there an increase in the capacity?
No, we'll have the same capacity as it goes, so we're just replacing the two pumps, or removing those and putting new ones in there, which will be the submersible type, so we can lift those out and do our maintenance.
From an efficiency and safety aspect.
And there's another, I mean, there's another aspect to it, to where they're building a concrete pad so we can actually have our vehicles off of Drexel, whereas now we'd have to pull it up into grass or on the sidewalk. So we're actually designating some areas so we can actually safely be out of live traffic when we're doing our work.
No further questions? Motion.
Lorik moves to approve the Drexel Avenue Lift Station project and award a construction contract to Mid-City Corporation based on the lump sum bid amount of $1,093,000.
Ritzel second.
Roll call?
Alderwoman Marshall? Aye. Gale?
Aye.
Guzekowski?
Aye.
Lorik?
Aye.
Ritz?
Aye.
And number 9 concerns the license committee. I believe I will turn that over to Alderman Fritz today.
Okay. If you've had a chance to look over the licensing requests, if you have any questions, there.
If there's no further questions or comments, motion please.
Fritz, make a motion to approve the various license requests as listed on the February 19th, 2024 License Committee Report.
Lorik.
Second.
Roll call?
Alderman Gale?
Aye.
Guzekowski?
Aye.
Lorik?
Aye.
Ritz?
Aye.
Marshall? Aye.
And item 10 is consideration of approval of the February 14th, 2024 vendor summary report in the amount of $1,618,335.60. Of this total, $96,614.80 will affect 2023 fiscal year, with the remaining $1,521,720.80 affecting the year 2024. If there are any questions, please take the floor and direct them to the person you think can best answer. If there's no questions, discussions, motion, please.
Gale move to approve the February 14th, 2024 vendor summary report in the amount of $1,618,335.60.
Guzekowski will second.
Roll call?
Alderman Guzekowski?
Aye.
Lorik?
Aye.
Ritz?
Aye.
Marshall? Aye. Gale?
Aye.
And item 11 is consideration of a motion to convene into closed session pursuant to Wisconsin State Statute, Section 19.85, to discuss the following. Section 19.85, Sub 1, Sub E, to discuss the tax increment district number 13 financing development agreement with F Street OCLV LLC, and the amended tax incremental district number 13 financing development with F Street OC LV LLC, also known as Lakeshore Commons. President Gale?
Thank you, Mayor. Gail will move to convene in the closed session pursuant to Wisconsin State Statute 19.85 to discuss the following: A, Section 19.85, Sub 1, Sub E, to discuss the tax incremental district number 13 finance development agreement with F Street OCLV LLC and the amendment to tax incremental district number 13 finance development agreement with F Street OCLV LLC.
Marshall will second.
Roll call.
Alderman Lorik.
Aye.
Ritz.
Aye.
Marshall.
Aye.
Gale.
Aye.
Guzekowski.
Aye.
Shall now convene into closed session and return upon its, and resume upon its ending. We'll now consider a motion to reconvene into open session.
Thank you, Mayor. Gail moves to reconvene in open session.
Guzekowski goes second.
Roll call.
Alderman Ritz.
Aye.
Marshall.
Aye.
Gale.
Aye.
Guzekowski.
Aye.
Lorik.
Aye.
At this time, there is no need to take any action, so we can move for adjournment.
Marshall moves to adjourn.
Guzekowski goes second.
Roll call.
Alderwoman Marshall.
Aye.
Gale.
Aye.
Guzekowski.
Aye.
Lorik.
Aye.
Ritz.
Aye.
All right. Night, everybody.